Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You've tuned in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start the show off on the same note we start every show off, with a moment of gratitude. I know that you could be doing a million other things with your time, so the fact that you're spending with us truly does mean the world to me. On that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro. All right, and we're back. We got a good one today, and I know I say it a lot. Maybe I should change the word good, Tanner. I'm thinking about that. Excellent, awesome, great. But we got a good guest today, my favorite type of guest, an individual I have no idea who he is. So I love meeting complete strangers. So that's what we got today. So as per usual, I don't introduce our guests because they can do a better job at that than I. So on that note, sir, can you please introduce yourself and tell people who you are?
Hi, Elliot. First of all, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you as
Glad
well.
to be here today. My name is Jason Sherman. I've been a resident of Fort McMurray here. This is my second go-around. I've been here for a year now, and yeah, I absolutely love it here. I love the community. It took me about 2 weeks to convince myself that I had found a place I wanted to stay.
Nice.
And ever since then, it has just been a real fun ride.
That's
Yeah,
awesome, man.
absolutely. Yeah.
So you said it's your second go around.
Yes.
When was your first go around?
I came here about 20 years ago, actually, oddly enough. I
Okay.
had just started welding at that time, and I followed my heart up here.
Okay.
And yeah, for one reason or another, it did not work out.
Right.
But while I was away, I always remembered this part of the community. And that was it. I got here, I'll never forget, it was May 5th when I got here, so we were just after the flood,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, it was crazy times. At that point in time, I was, very new to the community. I was working at 2 stores,
Right.
so it was a lot to digest.
Yeah.
And yeah, immediately just was reminded that sense of community.
Right.
And as someone who has moved around a little bit, I grew up in a small town,
Okay.
and I felt that that's what's here, is that small town community feeling where people still want to know your name,
Yeah.
and are willing to help you, and you get that smile that you have right now.
That's right.
And
That's right.
yeah. So I remember, I thought about it for a couple of days. Initially, I was only here for six months was my plan,
Yeah.
and I called up my boss and I said, you know what? I love it here. I want to stay. Like, what
Yeah.
can we do to make this a reality?
That's right.
And she kind of laughed, and then I called my family, and they had a good laugh because I was adamant. I'm going to come here. I'm just here to help.
Right.
But yeah, I drove down that River Valley Road, and it's so beautiful down there. I've got an apartment down there now.
Yeah.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I look
Yeah.
at Mac Island every day.
There we
I
go,
start
man.
my day with the sun rising over that hill.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah.
gorgeous.
Oh, and I think that's what I had forgotten about, was the beauty here. And and I tell friends about that all the time. Like, they don't know what to expect. I've posted pictures like, wow, like, I did not think it looked like that. And I tell them, like, that's why you need to come here
Yeah.
and check it out. Like, it's
Yeah.
a beautiful place, and the people are awesome.
That's right.
So yeah. Anyway.
There you go. Yeah, the mentality of what Fort McMurray looks like. I think so many people hear about like the oil and gas component of it in regards to
Absolutely.
like it's open mining. It looks like an oil and gas facility.
Yeah.
However, the community itself looks nothing like that. You're in the middle of the boreal forest. It's gorgeous.
It is, and yeah, like, to see the stars again.
Yeah.
Like, I remember my first night sitting out on that on my balcony,
Yeah.
and just being like, wow, like, I had forgotten about this after living in Edmonton and Calgary for so long.
That's right. That's
So
right.
yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. People
That's
have no idea. And yeah, I love the way Mac Island just lights up at night. So yeah, as a guy like me who likes to go out and have a smoke in the evening time, like, yeah, I just kind of get lost in the beauty of what I'm surrounded by. And yeah, I started taking stock in what I wanted in life, and this place was it.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
That's
it really
gorgeous.
is. It's wild, man.
That's
It's
so
actually
good.
wild. I'm very nomadic
Okay.
at heart, so
Yeah.
it's been tough for me to really settle in and feel myself settling in.
Right.
But I kid you not, I bought dishes, and that was a huge commitment for me.
Right.
But I think that was me saying, like, I have found my place, and yeah, like, I started to tell my family, like, no, this is it. I'm staying here. Like, I love it here.
That's awesome, man.
So yeah, I look forward to what tomorrow brings and how I can get more involved in the community, and I'm trying all the time.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
That's great.
this is exciting for me on that aspect
Yeah,
too, right? So it helps
sweet.
me kind of get out of my shell.
Yeah.
Being new to the community, and I don't have family here, so
Yeah.
this has been new. When I got here, I met 10 people I work with,
Right.
and
right.
they've all been awesome, and we've become this tight knit little family that I have here, But yeah, You know,
That's
and we
very
could get into
cool.
that because of COVID, you know, meeting people. But again, I work in retail. I sell a product I love to sell. So
Yeah.
I meet awesome people every day. And that's just it. Like the more of those interesting transactions I had, it was like, wow, like I
Hmm.
do want to stay here. Like these are good people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
love it. I can't say
That's
enough
great,
good things
man.
about it.
When you got time, I know you're downtown and it's beautiful there, but before we came here, I was actually bike riding up in Thickwood. If you
Okay,
ever have
yeah.
the time, Birchwood Trails, man.
Well,
Yeah.
the first place that they put me up in, I was up in Thickwood.
Okay.
And yeah, that was actually the first trail system I walked along there. And
Nice.
I have a little dog, Mary Jane. Her and I, we go out all the time, right? And yeah, it was just so fun. And then when I saw the paths that were kind of into the trees,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
like that again blew my mind. And again, someone who likes to smoke and get outdoors, it's like, wow, the beauty.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I didn't see the fire.
Right.
So to stand there and see how close it was to
That's
people
right.
losing everything and then remembering what people lost, yeah, like you
Yeah.
can't help but be like, and again, the strength of the community.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I just feel like this is why I'm supposed to be here. Like
There you go.
I'm someone who needs that strength from
Yeah.
time to time, and this community's full of it.
That's it,
So
man.
yeah, those trails are
Yeah,
phenomenal.
they
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
And the Birchwood Trails are nice too because they weren't actually hit by the fire. So you get to see still the woods. Now, over time, since the fire, they've not they've taken down some trees to make it a little bit less dense,
of course.
but still the trees are still there. So
Oh,
different point of view. Yeah, I was literally just there. Beautiful community, man.
it is.
Beautiful.
It's
Now, you've mentioned a few times in regard to smoking and being in retail.
yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about where you work. You used to be a welder, now you've transitioned into a new career path. So, what is that career path?
Yeah, so actually, I work for Nova Cannabis.
Okay.
I run the downtown store.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the store manager. So yeah, these days I sell legal cannabis.
That's awesome.
It's been pretty wild ride.
No doubt.
It was a huge transition to make for a bunch of different reasons.
Hmm.
But I kind of felt myself kind of lost for a while there. I hit 40 and didn't know what to do. I had
Okay.
just been divorced, moved back home, really struggling to find my identity.
Right. Right.
And my brother had kind of threw the idea out there. At this time, it wasn't legal, but it was being talked about. So I
Right.
took a course online and found, hey, this is something that I do. Like, I've always loved to smoke it, but this is interesting. There's so much more to it than just smoking it.
Right. Right.
And I had a friend who got in the industry very early, and she kind of helped me with my resume to change it from, you know, I was a welder for 22 years. I didn't even know how to write a resume. You know, you walked in and you showed that you could weld and you got the job or you didn't, right?
That's it. That's
So
it.
yeah, trying to create a resume, and she was awesome and supportive, and my immediate family got behind this, you know, like I think he's going to do this, right? And
Yeah.
I didn't know what to expect, to be honest with you. I didn't give myself a lot of time.
Okay.
I was kind of in an unusual place in my life where I didn't have confidence, you know.
Right.
So the idea of interacting with people was terrifying. My anxiety was getting the best of me, right?
Mm.
And yeah, you know, a couple days in, you know, I just started talking about the flower, and people are, you know, they're buying into what I'm selling, and I'm getting relaxed. And yeah, I went from, you know, a part-time CER to now running a store, and very successfully. And honestly, it's so much fun.
That's awesome,
I
man.
don't have a strong background when it comes to cannabis,
Right.
but I have dove in with both feet when it comes to consumption, you know, and how
Yeah.
I can help you as a consumer,
Yeah.
you know, steer through it. What to buy? What am I looking for? Like
Yeah.
legal cannabis is, there's a lot out there, man. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's
man.
been a lot of fun. It's been a lot
Okay.
of fun. I absolutely love it. And
Very
it's so
cool.
fun at 45 to be doing something I enjoy,
Yeah.
and the happiness that that has brought me. And now in the community I love, like it's great. The
That's
stars are
it.
just, everything's lining up.
That's it, man. When
Yeah.
I truly believe in it, hence, man, I'm shooting a podcast for goodness sake.
Yeah.
Like doing what you love, like you don't always know if it's going to work out, and it's a scary feeling at
Oh,
first, especially because you're doing something like what you're doing currently, which is not traditional. So it is new,
that's it,
and
right?
so you don't know where that lies. But if you're having a good time doing it, man, it just makes you feel good.
Oh,
And then when you feel good and you see success coming, you're just like, okay, here we go, you
that's
know?
it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. You nailed it on the head. And you know, the first couple people that came back and said, you know, that recommendation you had, like, dude, that's exactly what I was looking for.
Right.
You know, you do, your chest gets a little puffed up, and you start thinking, wow, like
Yeah.
I'm good at this.
That's right. That's right.
And you know, people laugh. My dad laughs. Like, what are you doing? Well, I'm at home smoking weed, studying,
Ye-
man. Like, I
Yeah.
want to be the best at this I can be. So
That's right.
if I'm not working, I'm at home smoking, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I really try to figure out, like, where am I going? Does this make me want to get up and do something? Because those are the ones that I enjoy. I
Right.
like smoking and getting outdoors. I like smoking and working out,
That's right.
you know. or is this one that's going to make me want to just sit down?
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Even though like lots of people like those. So
yeah.
now when you come in and say, and the
That's what I'm
first thing
looking
out,
for.
what do you want to do today?
That's
Well,
right.
a lot of people look at me like, I want to smoke weed. Well, yeah, but what do you want to do after you have that smoke?
That's right.
And being able to help you understand it. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a lot of fun, man.
So how did this transition happen for you in regards to? I want to talk to you a little bit about welding as well.
Yeah, of course.
But like you mentioned, this is not something that you had a lot of experience with prior to, and obviously not if you're a welder, you go into plant sites, you're doing drug and alcohol tests. This is not something that you could dabble with. So how did that happen? Like what? Like how did you get into this?
Well, so interestingly enough, I was very fortunate in my welding career that I didn't work for a lot of facilities that did testing.
Oh, okay.
And if a test was made available, you did the responsible thing and you stopped smoking.
That's right.
When I stopped smoking is when the pain would come.
Okay.
And then, it was narcotics,
Yeah.
right? And I always felt that every time I got involved in narcotics, like there was the side effects that
Yeah.
took me in a negative way.
That's right.
If I started smoking, I'd start feeling better. I'd come out of my shell. I'd be eating. I'd look better. I'd feel better. And yeah, it just kind of led me to believe, like I started really believing in the product.
Right.
And I
Right.
struggled with some painkillers for quite some time.
Yeah.
And cannabis really helped me get off of those.
Yeah.
And then like it was just set. This is a product that I know people can benefit from.
That's right.
And I want to tell my story
Yeah.
and help people understand that there are options out there.
Right.
So yeah, it just became something that I got very, very interested in. And yeah, I dove into it. Like I said,
Nice.
I really
Yeah.
did. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so interesting to me. I was out of town a few weeks ago with a friend, and he wanted some CBD oil for his joints.
Yeah.
And so we went into a cannabis store,
Yeah.
and I had never been in one prior
Okay.
to. So like my first entry point into a cannabis store was literally 3 weeks ago, and we
Okay.
walked into it, and it looked like a Subway. Like
Yeah.
it just looked like a Subway. Like
Yeah.
here, I'm here to get my sub, and it was like it wasn't at all what I was looking for, thought of. It was very commercialized, and I was just like, wow, this is so interesting, because obviously the industry is changing.
Absolutely.
Then last week I walked into yours,
Yeah.
and once again completely different. And so definitely the vibe of the stores differ from store to store,
100%.
obviously. But you can see the level of professionalism in the stores is not what I would have ever thought in regards to like the stereotypes of cannabis prior to it becoming legalized.
For sure. I
Yeah.
can totally respect that. And like we were talking before, cannabis,
Yeah.
like before it was always weed,
That's
pot,
right.
marijuana, and yeah, it's become cannabis,
Yeah.
and trying to take away some of that negative stigmatism that followed it for
Yeah.
so long. Not only that, but letting people know this is a safe product. And I think that's one of the things that I kind of forget about some days, but that's what I believe in the most is
That's right.
when it comes to legal cannabis versus gray market or black market.
Mm-hmm.
They're all great. There are some really great growers out there who are still doing black market.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there are some shady people out there
Yeah.
who do things to their products.
That's right.
And
That's
now
right.
I know when you leave my store, you have a safe product.
That's
I
right.
believe in that. So
Yeah.
that's what's made it. And you're right, the professionalism has been there from day one.
Yeah.
And that was one thing we really felt that we could offer.
Yeah.
Day one prices were kind of up there.
Okay.
But yeah, you knew when you left, you were getting a safe product that exactly what the package said it was going to be.
Right.
You weren't going home and saying, okay, I want to do something after this. I want it to be very uplifting. Well, now I'm sitting on the couch. It's not what I wanted.
That's right.
And now you have a big bag of it, and you're hoping your buddy next time comes with something
Yeah.
a little more uplifting,
That's right.
right? So
That's
yeah,
right.
it's just that's kind of what kept me there. And again, the more I started to experience it, the more I realized there are so many facets to this. From someone who doesn't want to get that high feeling, but that wellness feeling, like you said, CBD.
Yeah.
Well, now who knows what CBD is? And there's so many questions.
Yes.
It's a tough one to answer because
Yeah.
I can't give you medicinal advice,
Right.
but I can help you because I've tried the product.
That's
And I
right.
believe in the product.
That's right.
So
Yeah. What blew my mind outside of just the the look and the people who were working there
Yeah.
was the consumers. Like it was all different demographics when I walked into the
Absolutely.
place in Canmore. There was like a elderly couple, obviously retired, looked like your grandparents.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Then there was like this nerdy engineer couple. and then there was two like stereotypical, I would call like potheads, and I was just like, this is so weird. And then you had another gentleman come in, and he was in a suit, and I was like, huh. So it really does go to show you how like mainstream it is actually becoming.
Oh, absolutely. And I know I've had lots of conversations with people in my family, for example, that couldn't believe, they ask me all the time, like,
Yeah,
who comes to your store? And I tell
yeah,
them, like, you wouldn't
everybody.
believe everything, everybody from every demographic, from your
Yeah,
grandparents, your great grandparents,
yeah,
to your brother.
yeah,
Like they all come in at one point or not.
yeah.
And that's what's exciting now is you don't have to hide that anymore. You
That's
can
right.
say, I choose this product and this is why I choose it.
Yeah,
And yeah, I love it when celebrities come out and say, I'm a smoker. I've been smoking for years, and
mm-hmm.
I needed that help. I was depressed.
That's
This
right.
helped me feel a lot happier.
Yeah,
And it was a safe alternative to what they were offering me.
yeah.
Right.
That's
So
awesome,
yeah,
man.
yeah, absolutely.
So let's rewind in your life a little bit because I actually know a little bit about this topic. Let's talk about welding.
Yeah, of course.
What kind of welder are you?
Well, again, I was very fortunate. I've been able to do a couple different things.
Okay.
Most of my career, I was more of an industrial mechanic.
Okay.
Went to plants, and did a lot of shutdown work or construction work,
Right.
maintenance, stuff like that. And spent about 10 years working with a company that did more millwright service.
Okay.
So yeah, it was a lot of, it's broken, get in there, fix it as fast as you can, get it up and running again.
Right.
And I loved the challenge that had brought me.
Yeah.
Everything was new all the time. But then it just like after 15 years of welding, I wasn't finding that satisfaction.
Right.
And I was starting to look for ways out.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, I ended up finding a job with a company in Calgary that did artistic features.
Oh, neat.
Well, that just re-energized me.
No doubt.
And I had so much fun working for them. We built some really, really cool products, that I love to be able to show people and say like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
And again, without alluding to what I was doing, yeah, sometimes you got to get a little smoke in you to do some of this stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I
yeah.
was very fortunate that the company had no policies at that time,
That's right.
right? But yeah,
Yeah, it's
so I've
cool.
done a little bit of everything.
Nice. Yeah, welding's neat. I used to be the chair for the CWA, CWB, Welding Association
Yeah,
Bureau,
okay.
here in Fort McMurray. In a previous life,
Yeah,
I used to work for a company called Accurant. They do
okay.
non-destructive testing.
Yeah.
So they used to test welds and
Yeah,
whatnot, and so that's
absolutely.
how I became um, involved with the welding association. And boy, the amazing things you can do when you're a welder.
Oh, and
It's unreal.
it was so much fun towards, for quite some time, I had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
I really did. And, it was just sheer dumb luck. I stumbled into it. I
Yeah.
was 18 years old, didn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Had kind of flunked out of college. My dad said, well, get a trade,
Get a trade. No doubt.
take some time, figure out what you want. And, I kind of, okay, well, this welding thing, like, it's not a bad gig. And
No.
yeah, I took to it. It was a lot of fun. It took me to a lot of fun places.
Right.
Like I said, I got to do some really, really fun
Yeah.
things. I met some fantastic people,
Right.
but yeah, I hit 40 and it was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
That's right.
Everything was starting to hurt.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I was looking for options, and
Yeah.
cannabis was a neat one because at 40 years old, like I really had to look for something. What can I do for the next 20 years?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. And yeah, it just kind of provided me with an opportunity. Maybe
Yeah.
this is something I can do that can grow into something. And every day it's changing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has become exciting because I don't know what else is going to happen.
Yeah.
I look forward to tourism. I really do.
Yeah.
When the
Yeah.
cafes and stuff are a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I know
Mm-hmm.
that that's where I'll land because I just love talking about it. I want to sit there, smoke with you. How you feeling, man? Like,
That's
this is a
awesome.
cool one, right? That's
Very
my
cool.
gig. Yeah, I love that.
There you
Yeah.
go. All right, now we've come to the show, Tanner's section of the show. We call it the Mac City Minute.
All right.
Tanner's going to hit you up with some questions.
Okay.
Best of luck to you because I have no idea what he's going to ask.
All
so,
right.
Tanner, hit him with the Mac City Minute.
Question number 1 for you. What is the biggest change you've noticed between your first and second stay in Fort McMurray?
Wow. Um, I think the way I've embraced it, I
Okay.
took advantage of it the first time. I didn't appreciate it, and now that I'm here and I love it, it's a newfound appreciation for what this community has to offer, the people, the scenery, everything about it. Yeah, that would be that.
Question number 2. What is your favorite part of bringing Mary Jane to work?
I love it when guests walk in the store and ask to see her. You know, she's definitely become our mascot. She's been my support dog since the day I got her. You know, so yeah, when people come in and they say, "Hey, I hear your dog's here. Can I meet her?" That definitely is the highlight of my day.
Question number 3. What is your favorite part of working with Nova in Fort McMurray?
Well, that it brought me here. You know, I did not know where this path was going to lead me. I have been, like I said, a very nomadic person. So I think the favorite thing about working with Nova is it brought me to a place where I do feel I'm at home, you know, and I'm ready to set down some roots, actually, in one way or another, whatever that means for me.
Question number 4. What is one defining moment that made you want to stay in Fort McMurray?
The first day I drove down the river valley, 100%. I fell in love with that river valley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at that time it was unfortunately flooded out,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw the potential, you know, those paths that were there, the trees, the foothill behind it, like everything about it. I was immediately sold.
And your final question. What is your favorite snack to munch out on when you're conducting your crucial work research?
I'm a gummy fan.
Okay.
I'll eat gummies until my stomach aches. Yeah, absolutely 100%. I like the gummies.
And those have been your 5 questions.
There you go. Yeah, no, the River Valley, it's a unique part of Fort McMurray because they really developed that downtown core over the last few years. It wasn't always like that where you had like accommodations to live. It was very
Yeah.
industrial back in the day. So yeah, it's a beautiful part of town.
And that's oddly enough what I can remember is it not being like that.
That's right.
And yeah, that first drive down there just reminded myself, what was this? But I
Yeah.
know it wasn't this.
It wasn't
Like,
there. The
wow,
road
is it
wasn't there.
beautiful?
Yeah.
And I mean, I lived up in Dickensfield when I lived here 20 years ago, and I
Right.
don't think we even went downtown. Like we
Yeah.
just didn't. It wasn't a place to go at that point,
That's
right?
right. That's right.
And now that I'm there with the scenery and everything, like I think that's a huge selling feature of what Fort McMurray has to offer is that river valley.
That's
Like,
right. That's right.
and like I said, I love getting down on them trails, having a smoke, and just get the interpretive trail is my favorite place to go on a Saturday afternoon.
That's awesome.
I
man.
love looking at those art features and just reading it and kind of embracing what they're telling you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mentioned to Tanner the humility one.
Mm.
I go there once a month.
Yeah.
I sit down, I have a smoke, and I look inside. Like, what can I be doing different? How can I help people? Like, am I being a good person?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've become very spiritual as I've gotten older,
That's awesome,
and I
man.
think that's another thing. You know, like the beauty of cannabis, it
Yeah.
allows you to just open some thought that you never really gave chance to before.
There
Yeah.
you go. Very cool. Well, listen, we're out of time. I
right.
want to delve deeper into what you just said in regards to getting older because I am getting more spiritual because I am as well. As you get older, it happens. It's kind of neat. So I'd love
Yeah.
to talk to you more about that.
Anytime.
But thank you very much for coming on the show today. Really, do
really
appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been a blast, and
Yeah, man.
I would love to come back on again.
Sweet. I'm going to take you up on that one.
Perfect.
On that note, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, thank you for tuning in. This has been another episode of the Mac City Morning Show. I've been your host, Elliot Pierre. And yeah, from the bottom of my heart, thanks for tuning in. I know you could be doing a million other things. So have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.